In today's video, I wanted to walk you through which match type you should use in Google Ads, and I'll also include what each of the three are and just give a brief explanation between the three as we see here. But more importantly, give you examples from different campaigns so you actually know what these different match types look like in action so that you can come to a conclusion yourself on which match type you should use for your own campaigns. And for the context of this video, it applies a lot more to like lead generation. So if you're looking to get highly qualified leads and make sure that your budget is being spent as effectively as possible. So if that's the case, then you are in the right place for this video. And just quickly explain the difference between each of the three match types then. So broad match, as it says here in Google's resource on like the difference between the three match types, basically ads can show on searches at any that somewhat relate to your keyword. And for any lead generation campaigns, I wouldn't even recommend using it at all unless you're at a point where you have loads of conversion data and Google knows exactly what people are going to convert. But if you're in the early stage or any kind of early part of your campaign, I wouldn't recommend using any broad match keywords, even if the intent is there and they're really high buying intent, because Google's going to show your ads for absolutely anything that's even remotely related to that keyword. It doesn't have to even be that related in any shape or form, which I'll just show you in a moment. Phrase match then is a little bit stricter, but even then, it has definitely gotten a lot broader over the last year or two than what it used to be. I would say that the phrase match is almost like the old broad match, and exact match is the old phrase match. But basically, phrase match means that your ads can show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. So the full meaning of the keyword doesn't have to be the same, but once it includes the meaning of your keywords, then it can appear for that search. While exact match, then it used to be that the keyword that you have, your ads will only show for search terms that exactly match with that keyword. But now it's a lot more focused on meaning now that Google's AI has gotten a lot smarter. So basically, ads can show on searches that are the same meaning of your keyword as opposed to being the exact same thing word for word. And just to show you like an example of some of these keywords in action. So this is a campaign we were running with phrase match keywords, and you can see here the keyword gas boilers because we were looking for like full gas boiler replacements. And we're just going to show you the search terms that popped up for this. And basically we had to add a lot of negatives because there was a lot of different search terms appearing for this. Anything related to all types of gas boiler services, which wasn't what we were looking for because we're only looking for full gas boiler installations or replacements, but not someone looking to get their boiler serviced or repaired. So that's why with phrase match you have to be really careful, and I'd almost only recommend using it when you have really high buying intent long tail keywords. And just to compare that then with a roofing campaign that we were running with only exact match keywords, I'll just show you an example of one here. For example, go to repair near me, and I'll just show you the search terms that we popped up for in this case. And you can see here then that the searches we were eligible to pop up for in this case were a lot more relevant and almost all included things that mention gutter repair specifically. But even with that, you can still pop up for the things that include other things on top of the keyword itself. So, for example, roof and gutter repairs or gutter cleaning and repairs near me, which is important if you don't want to appear for another service apart from the one you decided to appear for in the first place. So even exact match itself has definitely gotten a lot stricter than what it used to be. And that's why for lead generation campaigns in general, I'd almost always recommend going with exact match keywords as much as possible, especially in the early phases, because otherwise you're going to be spending a lot of time inside your search terms report adding negatives. And I've noticed that even with phrase match keywords, that a lot of the time you're going to also appear for the likes of competitor names and sometimes things that are almost totally irrelevant. So between the three match types for running lead generation campaigns, I would definitely recommend running exact match for the most part. I usually would also recommend using some phrase match keywords, especially if you are struggling for search volume. But if you have enough search volume and you're not going to struggle to, get impressions and spend your budget with exact match keywords, then I'd 100% just recommend going with that, because you know that the quality of your traffic is going to be there once you're targeting the right keywords that are relevant to the ads that you're running. And if you are running some phrase match keywords alongside it, I would keep it for your most high buying intent keywords. So, for example, keywords that include things like in my area or near me at the end, because the intent is much higher for these keywords. And the more high buying intent you have for your phrase match keywords, the less irrelevant negatives that they'll appear for. So I wouldn't add phrase match keywords for your really vague keywords. You're like, keywords that are just 1 or 2 words in length, but your more longer keywords that are about, 5 or 6 words in length. So I hope this video gave you some more clarity when it comes to what type of match type you should choose for running lead generation campaigns for a service business. So overall, I usually wouldn't recommend broad match at all unless you're about 6 months into the campaign and have loads of conversion data that you're working with. I would just almost stick exclusively with exact match for the most part, but also consider adding in some phrase match when you're either struggling for search volume or you have clearly high buying intent, long tail keywords that you could add in phrase match, just to get your impressions up and get more search volume into the account overall. And this will also help find new keywords as well. So overall, really, if traffic and search volume isn't an issue for you, then I'd almost always stick with exact match to have the most amount of control as possible over your campaign. Especially with how much broader things have gotten these days with Google Ads, you have less control than ever before. And even with exact match, you're going to have different search terms appear in your search terms report, which will give you new potential keywords to add. And you'll still have to add negatives regardless. So I hope this video helps. And if you do like this kind of Google Ads related content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting content here daily that's specifically related to Google Ads. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next video.